The hunter studies its world the way a scholar studies a book, looking always for the weakness. To the watchful go the long lives. To the careless go the short ones. Hunger is the cruelest teacher, and it never stops its lessons. The eastern sky brightens, and the landscape prepares to return to full view. Silhouettes rise from the darkness as the first colours spread behind them. The savanna wakes in layers, from the sky above to the grasses below. Night loosens its grip, while the horizon fills with pale fire. A new day begins long before the sun itself becomes visible. The first brightness reveals a land still holding the calm of the night. Cool shadows linger across the plains as the morning sky grows warmer. At dawn, the savanna seems to breathe more slowly before the heat returns. Morning colour gathers over the horizon and slowly spills across the open country. Before the sun appears, the savanna already feels the pull of a new beginning. A thin glow gathers at the edge of the world, and the plains begin to reveal themselves. Morning enters the grasslands slowly, touching the horizon before it reaches the earth. The first light slips across the savanna like a quiet signal that the night is ending. In the cool air before sunrise, every sound seems sharper and every movement more deliberate. Clear skies emphasize distance, while heavy skies emphasize exposure. The grass responds visually as the light changes above it. The grasslands are continually transformed by the atmosphere overhead. Storm clouds make the openness of the plains feel more dramatic. Rain often appears as a distant curtain beneath dark clouds. From across the plains, its path can be watched before it arrives. Some storms move steadily, while others fade above dry ground. Rainfall may reach one horizon and leave the opposite side untouched. The open landscape makes these differences clearly visible. A storm can divide the savanna into wet and dry worlds. The line between them may move quickly across the grass. Wind arrives first, flattening vegetation ahead of the rain. The surface darkens as the storm begins to cross the plains. Within minutes, the entire character of the landscape can change. Small depressions hold temporary water among the grass. After rain, the grasslands often appear sharper and more saturated. Dust settles, revealing distant features with greater clarity. Wet stems reflect light and deepen the color of the vegetation. The air carries the scent of soil and fresh plant material. Footprints deepen where the ground has absorbed moisture. Cloud cover can cool the ground within moments. A single storm can alter both the appearance and future of the landscape. The surface becomes softer, darker, and more reflective. Clouds may remain while the land below begins to brighten. The plains seem renewed even before new growth appears. Survival is built from these quiet decisions rather than from dramatic escapes alone. Narrower mouths select leaves and shoots with surprising precision. Herbivores do not wait for certainty. They act when the balance of clues becomes convincing. Across the plains, their greatest defense often begins with noticing what others overlook. Feeding strategies vary widely, allowing different herbivores to draw energy from different layers of the same landscape. Some crop the newest shoots, while others can process stems too coarse for smaller grazers. Broad muzzles sweep through short grass, gathering many small mouthfuls in steady succession. A long neck turns distant foliage into an accessible meal. Flexible lips and tongues allow browsers to feed among thorns without wasting valuable greenery. Large digestive systems make it possible to extract energy from vegetation that seems almost without value. Food quality changes throughout the day as heat and moisture alter the plants. Dry stems require more chewing, more time, and often more travel between feeding sites. Some animals feed almost continuously because each mouthful provides only limited energy. The largest bodies are sustained by countless small bites gathered over many hours. Feeding choices are shaped by safety as much as by taste. Short grass can be rich in nutrients, but reaching it may expose the herd on open ground. Taller vegetation offers more cover, though the best leaves may be scattered and difficult to reach. Over time, caution becomes more precise and less wasteful. Each hour demands hundreds of small judgments that are rarely visible to the camera. Fresh leaves may offer water as well as nutrition. Herbivores often follow the work of other species that have already shortened or opened the vegetation. A productive patch may be abandoned if the surroundings become too uncertain. Small birds may gather around these giants, searching their skin or disturbed ground for food. The body of a giant can support an entire moving community. Such partnerships reveal how even the largest animals remain connected to much smaller lives. Insects, birds, and scavengers respond to their presence in different ways. Where they feed, the soil is disturbed and hidden organisms are exposed. Where they rest, nutrients gather and change the condition of the ground. Their daily routines leave ecological effects far larger than the moments captured on camera. Water sources often reveal the full influence of these powerful animals. A large body entering a pool can shift mud, water and vegetation at once. Their movement may deepen channels or widen access along the shoreline. A coating of earth can become a natural shield against heat and insects. What begins as a drinking place can gradually be reshaped through repeated use. Smaller visitors may later benefit from these altered paths and pools. Resting during midday can prevent dangerous overheating. At the water's edge, size can offer priority, but it can also create tension. Other animals watch carefully as the giants approach. Shared vigilance allows the group to use water more safely. A crowded shoreline may open around them without any direct confrontation. Some use mud, dust or water to protect their skin and reduce the effects of the sun. Once drinking is complete, the herd may return quickly to open ground. Companions often remain alert, while others satisfy their thirst. Presence alone can establish distance and temporary order. Even so, the need to drink places every animal in a more exposed position. A lowered head reduces visibility and divides attention. Natural selection favours caution even among animals capable of great violence. Serious injury can be more dangerous than the loss of a single meal. Threat displays often settle disputes before physical contact becomes necessary. Posture, sound, and movement allow strength to be measured from a distance. Within a group, rank can influence feeding order, resting space, and access to mates. Dominance is maintained through behavior as well as direct conflict. Body position, facial expression, and vocalization help regulate social distance. Subtle signals often prevent tension from becoming dangerous. Play allows them to practice pursuit, balance, restraint, and control. Chasing companions develop speed without the danger of confronting prey. Wrestling teaches young predators how to use strength without causing serious injury. A predator must decide whether to stand its ground or preserve its body for another day. Social play also reveals confidence, rank, and temperament. Many movements used in play later become useful during real hunts. Young animals learn these signals through constant interaction. Some groups depend on stable bonds formed through repeated cooperation. Many confrontations end when one side accepts that the cost is too high. Avoiding injury is one of the most important forms of success. These explorations gradually build the knowledge required for independence. Young predators often observe adults long before they can contribute effectively. Others come together only when conditions make shared effort useful. The social life of predators can be as complex as the hunt itself. Curiosity leads juveniles to investigate scents, tracks, and unfamiliar objects. Woodpeckers, beetles, and small reptiles make use of spaces created by age. The dry months concentrate this activity around the limited shelter that remains. Trees become crowded refuges in a landscape offering little protection. What looks like a solitary trunk may contain an entire community. Thorns cast thin shadows over the branches they protect. Their sharpness discourages feeding animals from taking the last surviving leaves. defense and recovery happen at the same time. On some trees, thorns grow thickest, where browsing pressure is greatest. The canopy carries evidence of repeated encounters with hungry mouths. New shoots often emerge behind barriers of older thorns. Broken tips and stripped branches reveal where the defences were not enough. Still, damaged trees continue to redirect growth towards safer sections. The dry season turns every remaining leaf into a contested resource. Some leaves become tougher and less appealing as moisture declines. Others contain bitter compounds that discourage repeated feeding. Plants cannot flee, so chemistry becomes another form of protection. The struggle between plant and herbivore continues through taste, texture, and timing. A quiet canopy may be actively defending itself in ways the eye cannot see. The harsher the season becomes, the more valuable every hollow can be. By midday, those shadows contract into narrow islands around the trunks. The tree rebuilds itself while preparing for the next attack. At sunrise, long shadows reach far across the pale grass. Shade becomes a moving currency beneath the dry season sun. morning offers cooler conditions and clearer visibility around the bank. Midday increases thirst, but can leave the shoreline harshly exposed. Visitors then depend more strongly on sound, scent and remembered routes. Evening brings relief from heat, while reducing the time available before darkness. Cloud cover removes even that limited guidance. At night, the source remains essential but becomes harder to read. Moonlight can reveal open water while leaving the banks in deep shadow. A familiar splash may be harmless, but an unfamiliar one can stop an approach immediately. The timing of a visit can matter as much as the location. A falling branch, moving bird, or shifting bank can disturb the calm. Fresh tracks often show whether the area is currently active. A crowded approach can encourage cautious animals to wait at a distance. Water amplifies small sounds and carries them across the surface. Several disturbances can overlap until the surface becomes impossible to interpret. Reflections can also complicate the view of the shoreline. Wind adds its own pattern and may conceal smaller signs. The direction of each wave points back toward the original movement. Ripples provide information even when their cause remains hidden. A smooth pool reveals movement clearly, while rough water hides it. The same location can therefore feel safer or more uncertain depending on the weather. Bright sky on the surface may obscure anything below it. Small birds can use narrow gaps that larger species cannot enter. The savanna offers both wide open areas and complex spaces around trees and reeds. Branches demand precision, while open country demands endurance. The edge of a woodland creates different aerial challenges from the center of a plain. Versatility becomes valuable in a landscape of changing structure. Birds moving between these zones must adjust immediately. Some species specialize so strongly that they rarely leave one type of habitat. The sky above the savanna is divided by behavior rather than visible borders. Height, speed, time of day, and habitat all separate different forms of activity. One layer may be filled with small feeding flights, while another carries long-distance travelers. The vertical structure of the sky changes with every shift in weather. Above them, large soaring birds may remain almost motionless to the eye. Others move easily between grassland, wetland and scattered woodland. Large wings can provide power, but may require room to open fully. These differences reduce competition for the same aerial space. Each bird chooses habitats compatible with its method of flight. Low cloud may force high-flying birds nearer to the ground. Multiple aerial worlds can exist over the same patch of land. Calm conditions can open the entire airspace again. The camera may capture only one layer at a time. Weather can bring these layers closer together. Strong winds may keep smaller species close to shelter. Silhouettes replace detail as the sun slips lower behind the plains. Sunset creates a brief balance between the exhaustion of day and the uncertainty of night. Evening light moves sideways through the landscape, revealing paths hidden at midday. The first cool breeze of evening moves through the grass after hours of heat. The final light offers one last chance to travel before darkness changes the rules. Animals begin to shift their routines as the temperature falls and visibility fades. Daytime species begin to settle while night-adapted hunters prepare to move. The land grows darker while the sky becomes richer in color. For a few minutes, the lives of day and night overlap beneath the same sky. The western sky burns brightly while the ground below slips into muted color. The savanna enters twilight, one shadow at a time. The savanna may look peaceful at sunset, but every creature is preparing for change. Reduced heat brings relief, yet the growing shadows bring new risks. The hour between day and night is one of the most active transitions on the plains. Every species reads the fading light in a different way. Sunset is not an ending here, but a signal to change strategy. Clouds catch the last sunlight and hold it above the darkening land. The savanna continues to transform, even when change is too slow to see. Its greatest stories are often the ones that continue after the screen goes dark. Across the grasslands, life continues to respond to whatever comes next. Nothing here is wasted, not even the hardest struggle. The savanna turns hardship into memory and memory into survival. The end of this journey is only the edge of another. Each completed journey reshapes the path for those that follow. The plains keep moving through time, one season yielding to the next. Every creature that passes through leaves something behind in the living landscape. The landscape closes one chapter while opening countless others. Every loss becomes part of the conditions that support future life.